This page is the front cover featuring Army men, air combat with green toy soldiers, and a helicopter in a sandbox setting. It highlights classified GoldenEye codes. The cover also previews Turok 3 on 64, Warlocked for Game Boy Color Strategy, and the N64 RPG Aiden Chronicles. Strategies are offered for games like Looney Tunes, Duck Dodgers starring Daffy Duck, Indy Racing 2000, and Wario Land 3. An E3 special report is also teased. This page is an advertisement for Nintendo Power Magazine promoting its coverage of Pokémon Stadium, featuring iconic characters like Blastoise, Charizard, and Pikachu, and offering a subscription deal with bonus Pokémon items. This page presents advertisements for two distinct games. On the left is Army Men Air Combat, inviting players to take to the skies in toy helicopters for the ultimate air raid, showcasing the plastic soldier theme and top-down gameplay. On the right is Bomberman 64, The Second Attack. For the Nintendo 64, described as one of the most anticipated games of 2000. It promotes new bomb types, 5 different battle modes including Survival and Battle Royale, and the highly anticipated return of the 4-player split-screen battle mode, which is highlighted as a feature that guarantees a great time. This page features a large advertisement for Bomberman Max on Game Boy Color, showcasing both the Blue Champion and Red Challenger versions. The ad highlights core gameplay with screenshots, emphasizing the unique infrared responsiveness feature, allowing TV remote control interaction for secret minigames. It also promotes the ability to link up and battle friends, plus collecting and creating new Carabombs. The right side presents the magazine's contents for June 2000, listing game strategies for titles like Army Men, Air Combat, Duck Dodgers, Wario Land 3, and Dinosaur. Special features include previews for Turok 3 and Aiden Chronicles, The First Mage, alongside coverage of E3 2000, and a first look at Warlocked. The contents also detail various magazine departments like Player's Pulse, Classified Information, and Counselor's Corner. The page includes small preview boxes offering quick looks and descriptions for Turok 3, Duck Dodgers, 80s Karen Chronicles, and Wario Land 3, noting what players can expect from these games and where to find more info inside. This page features the Player's Pulse section, dedicated to reader opinions on the ultimate question: who is the best character in Super Smash Bros? Readers passionately argue their picks, highlighting diverse strengths. Some champion Kirby for his adaptability and skills, while others praise Harkness for his powerful Psy attacks and unique moves. Link is favored for his versatility with various weapons, and Samus for her potent attacks. Mario and Luigi get nods for classic moves and powerful uppercuts, respectively. Characters like Pikachu are lauded for speed, Captain Falcon for his Falcon Punch, Donkey Kong for brute strength, Fox for his quickness, Yoshi for his throw, and even Jigglypuff and Mewtwo are discussed for their unique abilities. The page includes fan art of Link, an owl, Mewtwo, and other characters, showcasing the community's love for the game. This page kicks off the summer with the power charts, highlighting the hottest games on Nintendo 64 and Game Boy. The N64 chart sees The Mighty Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time still holding the top spot, with GoldenEye 007 right behind, and the highly anticipated Pokémon Stadium making a big splash at number 3. Over on the Game Boy side, the original Pokémon Red, Blue, and Yellow are still unbeatable champions, followed by the excellent Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening DX, and Pokémon Pinball rounding out the top 3. The Most Wanted section gives a peek at exciting upcoming titles like Pokémon Gold and Silver, and the next Zelda game, Majora's Mask. In the Letters section, readers continue the debate on who's the best character in Super Smash Bros., touch on details in Zelda, and ask about Pokémon Stadium strategies, and even concerns about solar flares affecting consoles. There's also a brief note about finding hidden character cameos in games and letters, and contact information for game tips and support lines. This page takes us into the world of Army Men, Air Combat. Stepping into the plastic boots of Captain Blade, you pilot a variety of helicopters like the nimble Huey or the powerful Apache in intense aerial combat against the Tan Army. You're not alone, as several unique co-pilots are available, each bringing their own skills to the fight. Team up with a friend in the 2-player campaign mode to tackle missions together. Beyond the main game, there's an officers club for friendly rotor battles and wild multiplayer modes, ranging from bug hunting and Flagnabit to a chow-static food fight at a picnic. The review highlights the game's core premise of bringing plastic armies to life and the focus on mastering the helicopter combat. This page lays out the path to Green Glory in Army Men, Air Combat, detailing several key missions. The Green Army is under siege by the Tan forces, ranging from insect foes to heavily armed units. The missions presented cover various objectives: finding a base and delivering supplies, destroying enemy garages and transporting vehicles, stealing back a supply train's power source, and neutralizing Tan air bases and their Alpha Wolf squadron. You'll need to use extra firepower and watch out for spy vehicles in these airborne assaults. Later missions involve freeing mutated bugs held prisoner by the Tans, who then turn on their captors, and protecting green troops from ravenous ants by relocating their sugary treats and dealing with Tan bases. The guide emphasizes using heavy ordnance, the winch, and even dropping objects like food on enemy positions. Success often leads to further dangerous assignments accessed via a portal. This page continues the fight in Army Men, Air Combat, guiding you through more critical airborne operations. Mission 7, Ants in the Pants, sees the Green Army battling plastic-hungry ants. Your job is to bomb anthills with cherry bombs, then steal a Tan UFO using your Chinook and escape through a portal. Mission 8, Saucer Attack, puts that captured UFO to use as the Tans launch a massive attack on your Alpine bases. You'll need to use the UFO and deploy paratroopers to defend. Mission 9, The Heat is On, involves a daring rescue from a Tan base where scientists are melting under a giant magnifying glass. You'll winch them to safety, and then free Sarge, who has been recaptured. Finally, Mission 10, The Melting Pot, reveals General Plastro's mind control machine turning green soldiers. You must find a green crayon to break the spell and take down the Tan's super battleship. The guide provides screenshots and brief tips for each challenge. The next page continues the fight in Army Men, Air Combat, detailing 4 more challenging missions. Mission 11, River Rapids Riot, tasks you with protecting a vital teddy bear from the Tan Navy as it floats down the river, fending off boats and ambushes. In Mission 12, Nighttime Teddy, you'll restore the radar defense system by delivering power generators, and then wreaking havoc on nearby Tan bases. Mission 13, Demolition Time, sees you taking on remote-controlled Tan vehicles and their control devices, requiring precision attacks. Finally, Mission 14, Pick Up the Pieces, involves halting a Tan super helicopter project by collecting its scattered components for green forces to reverse engineer. The page provides mission briefings, tactical screenshots, and map layouts to guide you through these operations. This page continues the Army Men, Air Combat coverage with 2 more challenging missions. Mission 15, Have an Ice Day, requires you to guide green soldiers escaping from a Tan base through icy terrain, clearing mines and threats along different paths to reach a rendezvous portal, aided by a map and screenshots. Mission 16, Plastro's Revenge, is the final showdown against General Plastro, and introduces a formidable, nearly invulnerable robot juggernaut, detailed with a map and key screenshots. A color clash section offers a thematic note about the final battle. The page also features a striking Metal Gear Solid visual, highlighting the intense espionage action against a terrorist nuclear nightmare, showcased with dynamic artwork and several Game Boy Color screenshots from the game. This page dives into the world of Turok 3, Shadow of Oblivion. It highlights the game's darker, more frightening direction compared to previous entries, focusing on the new antagonist, Oblivion, described as an ominous entity that infects the living and dead, creating mutated zombie-like creatures. The article mentions the game starts with a nightmare sequence and features the Fireseed clan facing this evil force. Screenshots showcase various creepy environments and enemy types, including distorted humanoids and familiar dinosaurs. It also notes the return of a Kolevodon and other friendly faces. The main art features a character holding a weapon, surrounded by ominous imagery. This page dives deeper into Turok 3, Shadow of Oblivion, introducing the new heroes stepping up after Joshua's demise, his sister Danielle and brother Joseph. The game features branching paths depending on which character you play, with Danielle using a grappling hook for traversal, and Joseph fitting into tight spaces. Weapons evolve too, offering 24 variations from 8 base types, including the returning Cerebral Bore and the new Fireswarm Cannon. You'll face a diverse array of enemies, from human-insect hybrids and mummies with shockwave attacks, to evolving dinosaurs like the Fireborn, across 5 different worlds. The multiplayer mode boasts 8 customizable options, including Monkey Tag. The game is presented as having well-balanced character abilities and weapon choices. This page continues the look at Turok 3, Shadow of Oblivion, detailing the efforts to build more realistic, living environments where elements react independently of the player. The game boasts impressive graphics and a steady frame rate, with a focus on detailed character models and convincing facial expressions in cutscenes. The development team is working intensely to finish the game, which promises challenging monsters and a tough overall experience. On the right side, the page features Disney's Dinosaur for Game Boy Color, highlighting 6 playable characters, thrilling action involving jumping, swinging, and pulverizing rocks, and 27 levels set across diverse environments culminating in battles against giant Carnotaurs. This page dives deep into the world of GoldenEye 007, focusing on its infamous cheat codes. The content presents itself as top-secret information, revealing various button combinations that unlock special abilities and modes. It explains that there are different types of codes, those for the cheat menu, some for in-game effects, and others that open up levels. The cheat menu codes are highlighted as lengthy button sequences that, once entered, become available in the game's cheat menu. The page features screenshots showing gameplay, including images related to some of the cheats mentioned like Tiny Bond and possibly the gold PP7. It also provides information on how to access level selection via codes. This page continues to unveil the secrets of GoldenEye 007, presenting more cheat codes for players to use. It details 2 main types, level codes and in-game codes. The level codes are entered on the Mission Select screen to unlock levels in a specific order, helping players progress. The in-game codes are activated during gameplay for instant effects like invincibility, all guns, or max ammo, though these must be re-entered each time you play. The page also mentions special codes like the Finish Cradle and Aztec code that can complete levels or unlock hidden content. Screenshots from various points in the game illustrate some of the locations and effects. This page dives into the world of Duck Dodgers, starring Daffy Duck. You play as Daffy Duck, reprising his role as the galactic hero, on a mission to stop Marvin the Martian from destroying Earth. The goal is to collect atoms spread across 5 different planets to fuel your spaceship. The page details content from Planet E and Planet J. On Planet E, you'll be searching for atoms in various areas, completing tasks like chasing miners or navigating platforming challenges. You'll also face the boss, Hassan, who guards the planet's final atom. Planet J presents different challenges, featuring areas like a downtown landing, a video game arcade with playable mini-games for extra lives, a gymnasium, a boxing arena, and a history museum, each containing atoms to find through exploration and completing tasks. The article highlights the game's action-adventure gameplay, mixed with mini-games and platforming. This page continues the guide for Duck Dodgers, focusing on acquiring atoms in various challenging areas. It covers the remainder of Planet J, including multiple sections within the museum like the research library and art gallery, where you'll need to sneak past guards, solve simple puzzles, and platform through obstacles. The guide then delves into the sewer system, describing areas like the Page U, Drop, Control Room, Windy Tunnel, Garbage Chute, Rat Race, and Exit, each presenting unique environmental hazards or mini-challenges to collect the atoms. You'll also tackle Rocky's warehouse and engage in a volatile game of hot potato with Rocky himself for another atom. Finally, the guide transitions to Planet San, detailing Sam's jail, the final escape sequence, the ship hangar bay, and Elmer's spaceship, highlighting tasks like escaping confinement, navigating complex areas, operating machinery, and carefully retrieving atoms from Elmer Fudd's ship using stealth or quick movements. This page continues the guide for Duck Dodgers, starring Daffy Duck, detailing how to collect atoms on Planet Page. It outlines challenges in various areas like the main cargo hold, secret area, secondary storage, and flight test range, where you'll interact with robots, solve environmental puzzles, and complete timed challenges. The guide also covers obtaining atoms in Gossamer's cell, the robot guard room by using a ray gun, the power generators area with time jumps, and defeating Yosemite Sam in Sam's fight. You'll also find instructions for acquiring atoms during Arctic Landing, Snowy River, and the fish pond sections of Planet Sup, involving navigation, swimming, and avoiding hazards. Screenshots and character art of Marvin the Martian, Gossamer, Yosemite Sam, and K9 accompany the text. The next page continues the comprehensive guide for Duck Dodgers, detailing how to collect all the atoms on Planet X. It breaks down the challenges in various areas, including the Planet X landing zone, several caverns, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, at specific locations like the abandoned UFO, Cecil's flying toy, Egg 209 hatchery, Raygun workout, and the Delta Space Zone. The guide explains the puzzles and actions needed to find atoms, such as navigating tunnels, performing specific jumps, completing time sequences, using your ray gun, and even a boss encounter in Marvin's Surprise. It concludes with directions to reach Marvin's lab. The page features screenshots from these levels and illustrations of Marvin the Martian and Cecil. This page concludes the Duck Dodgers Guide for Planet X, detailing how to collect atoms in the Theta and Epsilon space zones using jetpacks and disguises, and navigating the transformation zap area by morphing into different forms. It guides players through finding keys with Lola Bunny to unlock the final encounter against Marvin and K9. The game is highlighted for its successful blend of Looney Tunes humor and solid gameplay. The page also features an advertisement for Electronics Boutique, promoting Game Boy Color games like Perfect Dark, Wario Land 3, Crystalis, Donkey Kong Country, and several Pokemon titles, offering a $5 coupon. This page welcomes readers to the new Nintendo Power online website, promising faster delivery of gaming information and special features. It highlights interactive destinations available on Nintendo.com, including mini-games and tournaments for titles like Mario Party, Donkey Kong 64, Mario Golf, and a Pokemon Stadium Fantasy League. The site offers chat sessions with gaming pros and the ability to send e-cards. A significant feature covered is PerfectDark.com, providing access to the game's trailer and clues for mysterious in-game organizations like Datadyne and the Carrington Institute, even supplying usernames and passwords, alongside a warning about the site's mature rating. Future plans for the online presence include expanding with comprehensive strategies, tips, codes, and player-submitted reviews, aiming for real-time news coverage, starting with events like E3 2000. The page also teases online footage showcasing gaming stunts. This page serves as the Nintendo Online Directory, providing a list of official websites for a wide range of popular Nintendo 64 titles, including classics like Perfect Dark, Super Smash Bros., and The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. It prominently features www.zelda.com and www.pokemon.com, detailing the wealth of information available, from in-depth strategy guides and character galleries for Zelda titles, to comprehensive resources and Pokédex details for the Pokemon universe. The logging off section looks towards the future of Nintendo Power's online presence, encouraging reader input on potential features, building upon the new online platform discussed previously. Also featured are Songbird Ocarinas, crafted instruments inspired by The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, available in various styles with accompanying songbooks. This page features Gaiden Chronicles: The First Mage. The artwork immediately sets a fantasy tone with a powerful mage figure, a dragon, and mystical elements like lightning and ancient text. The accompanying description speaks of a story of myth, magic, dedication, and talent, posing a challenge to brave souls who would venture into new worlds and face mighty forces. It highlights the game's focus on intrigue and the exploration of magical realms, suggesting a classic role-playing adventure. The next page dives into the high-speed world of Indy Racing 2000 for the N64. The game features a full Indy Racing League license, letting you compete on official tracks against 20 popular league drivers. You can jump into a single race, tackle a full championship, or explore a fantasy league. Beyond the realistic Indy circuit simulation, the game also includes a Gold Cup Fantasy Challenge featuring various non-Indy tracks, essentially offering two different racing experiences in one package. The review highlights the game's realism, capturing the feel of driving a 750 horsepower rocket at over 200 miles per hour. It also features a two-player split-screen mode. The page includes information on many of the featured drivers and their career statistics. This page delves deeper into the gameplay mechanics and modes of Indy Racing 2000. It covers the standard single and championship modes, explaining how you can customize your car setup, including adjusting wings and tire pressure, to suit different tracks and racing styles. Practical tips are offered for starting races, managing tire pressure for better handling or speed, checking for opponents, and the importance of qualifying for a good starting position. The guide also touches on pit stops, needed when damage is enabled. A significant portion is dedicated to the Gold Cup Racing Fantasy League. This mode provides a different challenge, featuring various car types beyond standard Indy cars, like midget cars, sprint cars, and formula cars. You earn points based on your performance to unlock new, more powerful vehicles shown in the Cool Ride section. It explains the point multipliers for different car types and the point chart for finishing positions, highlighting the Indy cars as the highest level challenge. Screenshots throughout illustrate the car setup options, racing views, and the progression through the Fantasy League. This page continues the discussion on Indy Racing 2000, focusing on gameplay tips for the Gold Cup racing mode. It offers strategic advice on drafting behind opponents for a speed boost, taking corners by staying wide and using the tread marks, and navigating slight curves by driving straight through them. The page also suggests using the SEC button to check behind you for approaching cars, and offers a note on the game's arcade-like nature compared to a more simulation-heavy title like F1 Grand Prix, describing it as accessible and fun for everyone. The right side of the page features an advertisement from 3Do, promoting 3 of their games available on Game Boy Color: Army Men, Battle Tanks, and Heroes of Might and Magic. It includes screenshots and a quote from a fictional person endorsing the games. This page delves into Wario Land 3 for Game Boy Color, introducing Wario's latest treasure hunt, where he assists a monarch, albeit primarily for his own enrichment. The game is presented as a platformer with a unique twist, where damage sometimes aids Wario's progress. Players explore 4 distinct lands, revisiting levels as Wario acquires new abilities. A significant portion details his expanding repertoire of moves, including various smashes, grabs, and enhanced swimming techniques, each shown with screenshots. Unique elements like a mini-golf minigame for unlocking areas and a day-night cycle that affects levels and enemies are also highlighted, showcasing the game's layered design. This page provides a comprehensive flowchart and guide for navigating the levels of Wario Land 3. It maps out the connections between areas across the 4 lands, showing the most efficient path to progress. Each level box details the level name, its location, like W3 for World 3, symbols indicating found and remaining treasure chests, the specific method required to obtain the key or chest within that level, and crucially, which other levels or areas are unlocked upon completion. The guide emphasizes using Wario's various abilities, like the jump smash or rolling, to solve puzzles and defeat enemies to reach the treasures that open up the game world. Finding all the chests within a level is key to unlocking the next steps on Wario's journey. This page continues the comprehensive guide for Wario Land 3, presenting a visual flowchart that maps out numerous levels across the game's distinct areas. Each section details a specific level, showing the status of its treasure chests, and providing a clear method for obtaining the required key or chest, often involving unique Wario transformations like being a vampire or using the jump smash ability. Arrows connect the levels to illustrate the game's progression, and the unlock section indicates which new areas or levels become accessible after clearing the listed level. The guide uses in-game screenshots and character art, including Wario in various forms and other key figures, to aid players in navigating the world, solving puzzles, and finding all the hidden treasures necessary to advance. Some levels also unlock mini-games like golf. This page continues the Wario Land 3 guide, laying out levels from various areas like S, N, E, and W in a clear flowchart. Each section provides the method for completing the level and finding its treasures, often requiring specific abilities or transformations such as the Super Smash, Grab Glove, or becoming Snowman Wario to break through obstacles. The guide shows how clearing one level unlocks others, depicting the progression through the game world with arrows and detailing which new areas, abilities like high jump or super swim, or even mini-games are revealed. Screenshots illustrate the key points and puzzles, helping players navigate and collect all the items needed to advance. This page continues the Wario Land 3 guide, detailing several levels like E6 the East Crater, E3 the Castle of Illusion, Fon 2 the Peaceful Village, and 1 Out of the Woods. For each, it outlines the method to navigate and find treasures, often requiring specific Wario abilities, such as the Super Grab Gloves gained from E6 to tackle challenges in E3. The guide shows the interconnectedness, with cleared levels unlocking new paths. There's a section on the not-so-funny business of facing the game's boss clown, and a look at helpful spoils of Wario items, like the magnifier and day or night spell. Finally, a short Wario Storio blurb touches on the game's remaining puzzles and the satisfaction of collecting everything. The page also features an advert for the multi-platform racing game Roadsters. This page dives into Disney's dinosaur game for Game Boy Color, putting the prehistoric world in your hands. The game features Aladar, a dinosaur raised by a unique family of lemurs, on a quest to escape a dangerous island. You'll play as different members of the herd: Aladar, Ema, Pleo, Zini, URL, and Shuri, each with distinct abilities like swimming, jumping, running, or using a spinning tail. Success requires strategic switching between these characters, at special spots. Along the way, you'll collect health flowers to keep the team healthy and point flowers to boost your score. Plus, you must rescue baby dinosaurs to progress. Watch out for predators like the Carnotaur, Mosasaurus, Velociraptor, and Pteranodon. You can even view character photos or print your score using the Game Boy printer. This page continues the guide to Disney's Dinosaur for Game Boy Color, detailing the core gameplay loop and early levels. The journey emphasizes strategic switching between herd members like Aladar, Pleo, Suri, and URL, using their unique skills to progress. The guide showcases the first 3 levels. Level 1 Island, where you escape a meteor shower by pushing objects and swinging vines. Level 2 Beach, focused on rescuing baby dinosaurs and finding Ema and URL. And Level 3 Desert, a jungle-like area. It highlights specific challenges within each level, illustrated by screenshots, like pushing logs and rocks, using Pleo's jumping, and Shuri's vine swinging. The guide also covers Danger Lurks, detailing threats like Carnotaurs and prehistoric groundhogs, explaining how URL's stomping ability is key to defeating enemies. The goal of each level is reaching the level gates at the end. This page continues the guide for Disney's Dinosaur on Game Boy Color, tackling the increased difficulty in Level 4 Heights and Level 5 Storm. The guide stresses the importance of teamwork, utilizing specific skills from Aladar, Pleo, Suri, URL, Zinni, and Epima to overcome obstacles like heavy rocks, teeter-totters used to launch lemurs, falling meteors, and collapsing pillars. It details the path through these challenging levels, leading towards the final destination known as the Nesting Grounds, a dangerous area filled with threats like velociraptors. The page also includes an advertisement for Polaris Snowcross, a snowmobile racing title announced for August release on Nintendo 64 and PlayStation. This game features a variety of tricks, multiple snowcross and cross-country tracks, customizable Polaris sleds, and a competitive 2-player mode. This page features the Counselor's Corner, providing expert game tips for players. It offers solutions for challenging moments in Perfect Dark, detailing how to navigate lethal laser beams by reprogramming maintenance robots, and how to effectively destroy the frustrating hovercopter using a strategically placed rocket launcher. For Donkey Kong 64, the section explains the purpose of the mysterious DK dirt piles, how to perform Diddy's useful rocket barrel boost by holding and releasing the Z button, and reveals that only Tiny Kong, with her ponytail twirl ability, can reach the floating barrel in the Aztec lobby. This page continues the Counselor's Corner, offering crucial tips for several popular games. For The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, learn how to capture elusive cuckoos by using one to glide over fences, gain entry to Death Mountain by presenting Zelda's letter to the guard, and acquire the Goron bracelet by helping Darunia after playing specific songs on your ocarina. The page also provides guidance on finding secret exits in Wario Land 2 levels, and answers quick questions for Game Boy Color titles like South Park Rally, Logical, and Disney's Tarzan, covering topics like continues, unlocking content, and progress tracking. This page presents the Poke Center, a hub for all things Pokemon, focusing on the upcoming Pokemon, the movie 2000. It details the movie's plot, involving a collector named Lawrence II, aiming to capture the legendary birds, Moltres, Zapdos, and Articunos, and Ash's adventure in the Orange Islands, including a quest for glowing balls. The page also notes that a short film, Pikachu's Rescue Adventure, will accompany the movie. The Pokechat section answers fan questions, clarifying inconsistencies between the anime and game mechanics, like type advantages and stats. It explains where to find certain Pokemon, confirming some are in gold/silver, not red, blue, yellow, discusses the challenge of winning Porygon at the Celadon slots, clarifies how item transfers to Pokemon Stadium work, items get new IDs and can't return, and confirms trading in the Pokemon trading card game on Game Boy is possible using the Gift Center. The page also features a gallery showcasing fan artwork of various Pokemon characters. This page features Ask the Professor, answering Pokemon questions from fans. It explains how to acquire a low-level Dragonair for the Pika Cup in Pokemon Yellow, primarily through the Safari Zone or as a gift, and details the complex process for obtaining Mew in Pokemon Pinball by clearing the Mewtwo bonus stage and using the Ketchum mode. Screenshots from both games are included. The page also delves into features of the Pokemon trading card game on Game Boy, describing the seasonal Challenge Hall competitions for promotional cards, and the Card Pop function for receiving new cards via infrared trade with a friend. Additionally, the Colosseum section analyzes user-submitted Pokemon teams, discussing strategies and movesets for various creatures like Dugong, Charizard, Hypno, Muck, Marowak, and Scyther, showcasing their artwork. Finally, the gallery section displays fan artwork of different Pokémon, including Mewtwo, Mew, Sandshrew, Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, and Diglett. This page features hot news on the Pokemon trading card game with details on the Super Trainer Showdown Tour. It explains how the event offers a chance for players to learn the game, receive official certification, and compete in qualifiers for a trip to Los Angeles. Photos show players engaging in the game, and a schedule lists upcoming tour locations. On the right, there is a brief advertisement for a Pacific Trading Cards baseball card starter kit featuring baseball legend Tony Gwynn. This page provides Nintendo Power's second report on E3 2000, revealing games previously held under embargo. It features the action-adventure title Dinosaur Planet from Rare, highlighting its vast 512 megabit scope, dual protagonists Crystal and Saber, and the use of dinosaur sidekicks like Kite and Tricky. Other revelations include Scooby-Doo arriving on 64 and Game Boy Color, featuring classic and new mysteries. Capcom unveils Resident Evil 0, an N64 exclusive prequel starring Rebecca Chambers and Billy Cohen, and the 3D action game Mega Man 64. Finally, the page introduces Mario Tennis for N64 and GBC, notably featuring the debut of Waluigi, Luigi's new rival. Screenshots throughout showcase gameplay from these upcoming titles. This page dives deep into Pokemon Gold and Silver, highlighting the biggest event of the year 2000 for trainers and collectors. It reveals new features like the Dark and Steel types, Pokemon breeding, and the groundbreaking inclusion of a real-time clock that affects gameplay and Pokemon appearances based on the time of day and day of the week. The article introduces the Pokegear, a device including a clock, phone, radio, and map, enhancing the world's realism. Screenshots show battles with a new level meter, the Pokegear menu, and the new Johto region. The page also features artwork of new Pokemon like Slowking, Lugia, and Hoothoot, and teases the stunning opening sequence of the Silver version. This page covers more E3 surprises, focusing on darker horse titles beyond the biggest blockbusters. For the Nintendo 64, we hear about Tom and Jerry, a comic brawler, and Army Men. Sarge's Heroes 2, improving on the original with better graphics and variety. Racing fans can look forward to the stylish Cruisin' Exotica and the promising Rush 2049. A sidebar also highlights the upcoming Spider-Man game for 64, featuring web-slinging action and puzzle-solving in New York City. Meanwhile, Game Boy Color gets significant attention, showcasing licensed titles from multiple publishers. Anticipated games include Disney's The Jungle Book, Inspector Gadget, Donald Duck, Animorphs, Toonsylvania, VIP, The Simpsons, Aliens, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Rugrats in Paris, WWF, MTV Sports titles, Croc 2, NASCAR 2000, NBA Live 2000, and Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Screenshots showcase games like Heroes of Might and Magic, Disney's Donald Duck, Spider-Man, X-Men, The Jungle Book, Animorphs, Toonsylvania, and Return of the Ninja. Additionally, Enix is confirmed to bring Dragon Warrior In and 2 to Game Boy Color, offering classic RPG action. The page concludes by teasing more Game Boy Color coverage in future issues. This page covers the Game Boy Color game Gold and Glory, The Road to El Dorado, based on the animated film. It chronicles Tulio and Miguel's quest for fortune and fame in the New World. DreamWorks and Ubisoft produced this action title, described as polished and suitable for novice explorers. The page details items players collect, like Bag of Goodies, Treasure Coins, and Flask of Life. It also outlines the progression through various stages, starting with the Spanish Village, where you battle pirates, bulls, and snakes. Subsequent levels include the Spanish Market, highlighting platforming over canopies, and a bull roaming free, a relentless scrolling stage. Players can choose between Tulio and Miguel, who have similar abilities. The review notes the game features classic side-scrolling action with well-designed levels, great graphics, and fun gameplay, suggesting younger gamers will appreciate it. Screenshots showcase the vibrant pixel art and varied environments players will explore. The next page delves deeper into the quest for El Dorado, starting with level 4, The Crossing, where you face spiders and pirates aboard ships, culminating in a battle with the sailor boss. You then venture to level 5, The Big Waterfall, navigating challenging jumps past boars and rock-throwing monkeys. Next, level 6 covers subterranean areas, featuring blue apes and golden scorpions as you search for map pieces underground, followed by level 7, The Swamps, filled with dangerous alligators and piranhas, where you need to dive for treasures. Level 8, The Cavalcade, sees you mounted on a horse for a fast-paced section. The journey continues in Level 9, the Big Slide, a risky descent with hidden dangers. Level 10, the Eagle's Beak, involves navigating lava pits and tricky jumps while collecting items. Finally, Levels 11 and 12 explore around the city and the city itself, introducing new threats like jaguars and Venus flytraps, using vines to progress, and ultimately leading you to the pyramid where your partner awaits. The guide offers crucial tips for surviving these diverse and increasingly difficult environments on your path to fortune. The next page continues the epic quest for El Dorado, guiding you through the final stages of the journey. Level 13, the Temple, presents tough challenges with few health items and dangerous enemies like stone-spitting birds. In Level 14, the Priest, you face Aztec warriors and sling-wielding soldiers, requiring precise timing to overcome them. Level 15 takes you to El Dorado itself, the City of Gold, where you explore the environment and uncover hidden items by walking through seemingly solid walls. Level 16, the King, features obstacles like spear-blanketed floors and involves facing a fierce cougar boss. Levels 17 and 18 delve into the grottos, highlighting difficult jumps, rope swings, and avoiding obstacles like stalagmites and bats. Level 19, Way to the Treasure, involves navigating past soldiers and snakes. Finally, Level 20, the Treasure, is the culmination, with soldiers, snakes, and crabs guarding untold riches. The guide wraps up with the big payoff, detailing the final confrontation with Cortez and revealing a secret UBI key hidden in Stage 4 that unlocks a special stage via the main menu's infrared port function. This section offers vital strategies to survive the final gauntlet and claim your prize. This page features a full-page advertisement for Army Men, Air Combat on the Nintendo 64, showcasing the game's unique premise of plastic soldiers battling in real-world environments, highlighting its 4-player helicopter combat. This page announces a contest where players can enter to win a new motocross bike and gear, inspired by Nintendo-sponsored rider Brian Mason and the game Excitebike 64. The grand prize includes a Kawasaki motocross bike sized for the winner, featuring Excitebike 64 graphics, along with a full set of Fox racing gear like helmet, jersey, pants, gloves, and boots. 5 second-place winners receive an Excitebike 64 racing jersey and the 64 game, while 50 third-place winners get a Nintendo Power t-shirt. The entry is tied to submitting your players' poll votes. This page dives into the strategic depths of Warlocked on the Game Boy Color. It presents the core conflict of the game, where players choose between human and monster forces to face off in real-time strategic combat. The article details key gameplay elements, including building up your base on the home front by gathering resources like gold and energy, exploring the map shrouded in the fog of war to uncover new areas and hidden items, and utilizing various units. Screenshots showcase resource nodes, different building types, exploration maps revealing hidden areas, and character portraits of key units. It emphasizes the importance of warlords managing their armies, utilizing powerful units like warriors, wizards with unique spells, and even dragons to achieve victory in the final conflict. Strategy and managing your forces are presented as the ultimate weapons. This page delves deeper into the forces battling in Warlocked, outlining the units and structures for both the Forces of Light and the Armies of Darkness. For the Forces of Light, it details the vital, grim grunt work of grunts as the army's backbone and resource gatherers, the expendable nature of knights and elves in battle despite their skills, and the power of combat conjurers or wizards who are crucial allies when rescued. Building resistance through farms, towers, and garrisons is key for the light side. The Armies of Darkness are led by Chief Zog, relying on warriors of the wasteland who are tough but often lost, using goblin-up resources with goblins for labor and construction despite their stupidity, and featuring wicked wizards as reliable but tricky supernatural allies. These sections provide insight into the strengths and weaknesses of each faction's units and their importance in building and combat. This page dives into upcoming Game Boy Color titles. First up is Warlocked, a real-time strategy game brought to handhelds, which developers describe as a challenging but rewarding feat, blending RTS and RPG elements. They highlight the inclusion of both GameLink cable and infrared multiplayer modes. Warlocked is set to launch in July. Alongside this, The Road to El Dorado is featured. Based on the movie, players control Tulio or Miguel on a quest for gold across 20 levels, engaging in varied platforming actions, battling Spanish soldiers and native creatures, and overcoming traps. This page presents a series of challenges and quizzes for 64 fans. The main challenges include speedrunning a level in Perfect Dark, achieving high scores on the Excitebike 64 stunt course, and mastering King and Knights mode in Bomberman 64. The second attack. There are also fun, unconventional challenges like reaching WrestleMania in WWF WrestleMania 2000 without using grapples, and causing chows in Hydro Thunder. A Father's Day quiz asks players to identify the dads of various 64 characters featured in an illustration including Banjo and Fox McCloud, while a puzzle challenges you to decode phone numbers into Pokemon names. The Who Am I section teases a character from Star Fox 64, known for his famous father. The page also features scoreboards, highlighting top players in games like Mario Party and Star Wars, Episode 1, Racer, and explains how to submit your own challenge attempts. This page dives into the world of Game Boy Color gaming, highlighting the portable version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It introduces the game's roster of 10 pro skaters, including the legendary Tony Hawk himself, detailing their specific skill sets like speed, acceleration, braking, and jump. The article explores various modes, such as the competitive tournament mode, where you race for rank and trick points, and half-pipe mode focused on performing tricks within a time limit. It also touches upon collecting items for boosts and bonus points, mastering tricks, and the challenges found in one-on-one and link modes. The page notes the game's impressive graphics and smooth controls for the handheld. A brief intro titled Homeschooling broadly covers the fun of portable gaming, with genres like skating, racing, and puzzles. This page features a look at 2 Game Boy Color titles. First up is Wacky Races, a faithful racing adaptation of the classic cartoon described as a comedic take on the Mario Kart formula. It boasts 9 tracks and 4 distinct game modes, including Championship and Time Trial, offering plenty of racing action. You can even unlock new characters like Dick Dastardly and Muttley. The article also touches on using bonus items and the game's unique racing quirks. Below that is Disney's Winnie the Pooh, Adventures in the 100-Acre Wood, presented as a simple, easygoing adventure game. The review highlights its gentle nature, calling it easy as pie. Players explore the 100-acre wood through various activities like visiting friends, tending to a carrot farm, playing storybook-style board games, and engaging in arcade-style minigames, all contributing to your journey through this charming world. This page looks at several Game Boy Color titles. First is Extreme Sports, a unique sports RPG where you compete in events like skateboarding and surfing, earning medals to unlock new areas. Next up are the puzzle games Magical Drop and Hocus Pocus, which challenge you to match colored balloons vertically for chain reactions, offering options for multiplayer and even printer support. Men in Black 2, Back in Black brings side-scrolling action, with agents J and K battling aliens across different locations, featuring multiple difficulty levels and power-ups. Lastly, Rocky Mountain Trophy Hunter is highlighted as a handheld hunting game, known for its realistic animal calls and tracking mechanics, allowing you to hunt various games in different locales. This page previews several handheld titles. First up is VR Sports Powerboat Racing, focusing on high-speed river races where mastering turns is key, offering different boats and team play options. Next, experience the quirky fun of Tubin, an inner tube rafting game where you navigate rapids, collect rings, and avoid obstacles in wild white water. Finally, check out Men in Black, the series for Game Boy Color, putting you in the shoes of an MIB agent tasked with stopping aliens, and see glimpses of other hot Crave Entertainment titles like Godzilla, the series, Gex, Enter the Gecko, and Dragon Tales. This page reviews new Nintendo 64 game releases for June 2000. First up is Indie Racing 2000, a racing title praised for its sleek graphics and diverse track designs beyond just ovals, offering a good sense of speed and solid control. Reviewers gave it an overall rating of 7.3. Next is Looney Tunes, Duck Dodgers starring Daffy Duck, a cartoon-based adventure game with platforming and minigames. It's noted for its authentic cartoon graphics and sound, tight controls, and broad appeal, earning a high overall score of 7.9. Finally, Army Men. Air combat features helicopter combat with whimsical settings. Controls are good for flying, and environmental interaction is a key design point, though graphics are mixed. It received an overall rating of 7.1. This page presents reviews for 4 games across Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color. First up is Carmageddon 64 for N64, Noted for its underwhelming graphics and off-kilter handling, despite having accurate physics and a fun concept. Reviewers found the action sparse on bland tracks, resulting in a 5.7 rating. Next, Gold and Glory. The Road to El Dorado on Game Boy Color is a bright platformer based on the animated movie, praised for its vibrant look and faithful sound, earning a 7.3. Wario Land 3 for GBC gets a high 8.2. Lauded for its crisp graphics, engaging exploration, and classic sound design that expands on previous titles. Finally, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on Game Boy Color provides a scaled-down skating experience with solid play control and various modes, though character models are simple. It received a 7.2 overall rating. This page focuses on Game Boy Color reviews and editorial content. It kicks off with a review for Wacky Races, giving it a 7.2 for its faithful rendition of the classic cartoon's characters and simple racing gameplay. Though it notes the game is fairly basic. Disney's Dinosaur is also reviewed, scoring a lower 5.8 as a lackluster platformer tie-in, despite featuring multiple playable characters from the film. A section highlighting Also Playing this month provides quick reviews for several more GBC titles, including Stream Sports 7.9, the puzzle game Magical Drop 7.7, Winnie the Pooh 7.2, MIB2 6.6, and VR Sports Powerboat Racing 5.6. The page concludes with a section explaining the magazine's rating system and introducing the reviewer team and their favorite game genres. This page is the Packwatch section, offering the inside scoop on all things Nintendo. This month, previews showcase quick looks at games like Disney's Donald Duck, ISS 2000, Cruisin' Exotica, and Madden 2001, with screenshots and brief descriptions. A significant part of the page is dedicated to answering reader questions about the upcoming Game Boy Advance, detailing its screen, sound capabilities, networking options, and confirming compatibility with Game Boy Color titles. The main feature article excitedly covers Banjo-Tooie, highlighting its release following Perfect Dark, praising its stunning visuals, introducing new moves, worlds, and characters, and declaring it a must-play gem for the summer. Multiple screenshots of the game visually support the article's praise. This page delves into hands-on previews of upcoming games. Cruisin' Exotica brings its arcade racing style to the N64 with wild tracks and vehicles, featuring various modes like Exotica, Freestyle, and Challenge. Heroes of Might and Magic makes its debut on the Game Boy Color as a strategy RPG, letting you manage a kingdom, recruit heroes, and engage in battles. International Superstar Soccer 2000 returns to challenge FIFA's dominance with realistic commentary, multiple modes including World League and Euro Cup, and improved graphics with expansion pack support. Finally, Donald Duck steps onto the N64 with a 3D platformer promising a mix of open areas, adventure, and track-based action, offering intuitive controls. This page features Pack Peeks, offering quick looks at upcoming games. Mia Hamm is endorsing a new soccer game for 64, marking a first for a female athlete in console sports. Activision is bringing X-Men, Mutant Academy, Red Storm has a Roswell Conspiracies game, and Taz Express is set for release. Natsume continues its Game Boy Color support with several RPGSs, including Lufia, the beginning of a legend and return of the ninja, while Sapphire is working on a Greek mythology title called Sapphire. The page also provides a coming soon visual preview section, with screenshots of titles like Dragon Warrior 1 and 2, and Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. Finally, the release forecast lists numerous games planned for summer 2000 and the future across Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color. This page previews what's coming in the next issue. Volume 134, July 2000. It highlights Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, detailing Kirby's Evan 64 debut in an action-adventure title. Warlocked on Game Boy Color gets a mention for its real-time strategy gameplay, featuring knights and beasts. Crystalis is also previewed, focusing on the Game Boy Color adaptation of the classic NES adventure. There's also an E3 wrap-up promising expert analysis of the year's Electronic Entertainment Expo. The bottom left lists many upcoming games across N64 and Game Boy Color. The right side is a full-page advertisement for Monster Rancher Battle Card, showcasing the game's premise of collecting monsters from stone discs and battling. This page highlights the combined power of Nintendo Power Magazine and its online component. They're pushing the website as the go-to source for game tips, strategies, and even gameplay footage, promising a deeper dive than the magazine alone. You can see screenshots demonstrating tactical advice, promising pro-level insights. The page also lists many past issues with featured games for those looking to catch up. On the right, Midway presents a fun ad showcasing some of their games like Ready 2 Rumble Boxing, Blaster Master Boy, Marble Madness, Rampart, Rampage 2, and Paperboy, suggesting these titles are the real summer look compared to a goofy outfit.